All right, let's move on to the third question. So what is your understanding of data engineering? Earlier I talked about different types of data engineers. It's kind of hard to define. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. And also, just a follow-up small question. I think folks might be interested in knowing like the difference or similarities between data engineer and also, other roles like data scientists, data analysts, or, machine learning engineers. Who wants to go first?
I can take this up.
Sure.
So data engineer, like Shava mentioned, the start is it's difficult to define it, but I'll give you a very small example of what your work might look like. Let's say that you're working on anything, really building an app website, and you're taking some data from somewhere. Somebody gives you that in a CSV file. You want to put that data in a database, query it, or make a machine learning model on it, or whatever your plans are. That's where the data engineering aspect of it starts. So in this progress, even before you need to do machine learning model, you have to show that data to some other customer or do anything with it. You have to clean that data, transform it, put it into a database where it's queryable, or do all sorts of things with it. And then let's say next time that same source person comes to you and gives you a file that is in a different format. So you have to also build checks in your data pipeline so it doesn't break and it's resilient. Let's say they bring in more data. Right now they're bringing 1 GB, tomorrow onwards they start to send you 50 GB worth of data. How does your pipeline scale? Basically all of those elements comprise of a data engineering role. And as you grow in your role, you'll have all of these challenges at different levels. So a junior data engineer would probably deal with mostly getting data from one place to the other, but a senior person would probably deal with maintaining that data pipeline, the resiliency of that pipeline, how much load can it handle. So anything that happens from once you get the data to when you put it where a data analyst or a data scientist can use it is, according to me, the job of a data engineer. And the difference in similarities, this is different for different people because all of us have been in the industry and we've had our experiences. But in my experience, when I was doing data science, and why I went back to data engineering was because it was very difficult to do data science when there was not clean data or clean data that was coming in. So I spent a lot of my time actually just cleaning that data, making sense of it, and making sure it was consistent. There was no null pointers, null values, checks getting failed, and things like that. So I think maintaining that integrity of the data is very important before you start doing anything with it. And that's how I think data engineering role differs from like a data scientist role or a data analyst and things of that nature. But in most companies, at least the companies that I've worked for, I've seen people do like a lot of things. There's been a lot of overlap in what people do. So if you're working in data science, you might be interested in picking up a data engineering skill or vice versa. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. And depending on where you want to grow in your career, you can pick either sides and go down that route.
Thanks, Kritika. How about you, Edwin?
Yeah, I think Pritika has a very good summary in terms of what the data engineering do, and what kind of the difference and similarities between data engineering and other kind of data related roles. I just want to add a little bit in terms of my observations. So I think data engineering is kind of the foundation of any digital transformations in any organization at any scale. So the reason for that is because without the data, there just simply you cannot making like any decisions, right? So I say data engineering is the core of all those digital transformations, and becoming having the data in a good shape, in a proper governance, while making the whoever going to making the decision, giving them the confidence that the decision will coming from a trustworthy source, right? So I see a lot of data scientists will struggle with their models and with the parameters, but eventually it just simply because of the data, it wasn't transformed in a way that can become usable for the data scientist. So I say like in my opinion, like the data engineering doing a good job is a starting journey of everything like in the current IT department. So that's kind of my little bit add on in terms of how I see the role of data engineering become in the current organizations. Back